Welcome. You're going to die. I know this is news to you. Well, it's probably not news to you, but most people never think about it. So, wrap your head around this. You are going to die. Probably not today, not tomorrow, but it is going to happen. So, the big question is, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to know with this nugget of wisdom you were not aware of that you had it? So, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to go into these four aspects of reckoning with the fact that you're going to die. What's your time frame? Basically, when are you going to die statistically? What needs to happen until then? And also a little bit what's going to happen afterwards. How you're going to fund it, what's the amount of money that you need, have, and what to do with it. And then whom do you want to involve, both in the planning part, but also in the aftermath. Because remember, you are going to die, like it is going to happen, whether you want it or not. So let's start with the time frame. You don't know when you're going to die, like when you are going to die, but you can figure out when someone like you is likely to die from a statistical point of view. And the people who have these data, well, the companies who have this type of data and who can do this kind of extrapolation are life insurance companies. So my recommendation for you is once you go out of this call, out of this presentation, you go to a couple of life insurance websites and you have a look at how long are you going to live statistically. In my case, I'm going to live until between 97 and 105. I've basically given my data to every single life insurance company out there, and then I did a median of the output that they gave me. If I live until 97, I'm not even at the halfway point. I can invent myself so many times. I can have so many different careers. I can still do so many things. It's actually quite comforting. But I know at some point I'm going to get to those 97. And why is that important? Because when I'm 97, my kids will be in their 70s already. We're going to come back to that later. So now that I know how much time I have left, what am I going to do with this time? What do I still want to experience? Which places do I want to visit? When do I want to visit them? If I want to Mount Kilimanjaro, it's something that I should be doing in my 40s, 50s, not something that I should be planning for my 90s, because your body is what your body is, and it is going to get frailer with age. Whom do I want to tell that I love them? We tell people not enough that we love them. So, what are all the things that you want to put into those decades that you still have left? Make a list. Make sure that you look at this list with your loved ones and start planning. Obviously, some of those things are free. You can tell your loved ones that you love them over the phone pretty easily. If they live on the other side of the world, doing so in person requires money. So, what is your budget? Do a financial screenshot, a financial picture of where you are right now. Think about where you want to go, how much you will need, and how to find a balance between this is what I want to live now, and this is what I'm going to save for later. Now, one of the things that a lot of people tell me is, oh yeah, the thing is I need 5 million because then I can live off the interests, which is accurate. However, your goal should probably not be to die with 5 million in the bank, because then whoever comes after you will just have to pay taxes again on something that you already pay taxes on. So, at what point, and you can calculate that, on what point do you have to start actually spending the principal, as they say, so that you can die with a zero? Which also brings us to the people. Who's going to inherit what when? As I said, when I'm 97, my kids are in their 70s. At that point, they don't need an inheritance. At that point, they already have probably their kids, their partners, their house, their whatever they need. They need the money when they're in their 30s, 40s, when they want to travel the world, when they want, or even in their 20s, when they want to go to university, depending on where they want to go. So basically, how can you structure your plans and what is going to be left over once you've done all these plans? How can you structure it so that the people that you love have the money that you want to leave them when they need it, and not when they are also already kind of thinking about their own reality of dying. That is the more philosophical part, but then also the very practical part. When my dad passed away 3 years ago, I was lucky that I was able to hack his password to his computer and to his email, which in that generation, still very easy. I mean, it's usually one child's name plus a significant year and a question mark. It is what it is. No one's ever going to hack my password. So if I die, how are my kids going to access everything that is online? How they're going to change the accounts? And I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's a lot easier if you have the password to close an account than having to call a company that's not even based in your country and explain over and over and over again that you just lost a loved one. This is not something you want to do with, it's not something you want to do to your partner, to your kids, to the friend you decided what is going to be the person left behind, basically. That's the physical, that's the digital stuff. And then the physical stuff. I don't want my kids to look and this is be like, is this something she treasured or is this just something that she didn't have the time to throw out? So, how can you maintain a life that if you die tomorrow, the people who are left behind know that most of the stuff carried some meaning? How can you make it easy to basically clean up everything? Well, not everything, but parts of it. All of this requires constant conversations. It requires that you talk to your loved ones. It requires that you actually think about what do I want? What do I treasure? What is important to me? Like you can do this, but you have to talk to your loved ones, even though I understand it's not a great dinner conversation, but it is a great conversation on your sofa with a glass of wine. That's how me and my family at least solved it. So talk to your loved ones, declutter regularly. Please get rid of those things that are just there, not paying rent and accumulating dust. If you don't need it, let it go and talk with your loved ones. Like, I cannot stress that enough. We are at end of time. Obviously, there's a lot of more. It takes more than 5 minutes, though. So here's a QR code that brings you to my link tree where you can find a lot more information. If you take anything away from this, start living. Start living, start enjoying it because you are going to die. I promise.